We just had the warmest February on record. February 2024 was the planet's 9th consecutive warmest month on record, according to NOAA. Snow-covered trees, known as snow monsters or juhyo in Japanese, are seen on Mount Zao on February 13, 2024, in Yamagata, Japan. The area is one of the few places globally where the right combination of snow, strong winds, and low temperatures traps trees in layers of snow and ice, forming the unique shapes of snow-covered trees. Researchers reported last year that the distribution range of the snow monsters is shrinking due to global warming. Photo by Tomohiro Osumi/Getty Images. The second month of 2024 was Earth's warmest February since global record-keeping began in 1850, NOAA's National Centers for Environmental Information, or NCEI, reported March 14th. The December-February period, summer in the Southern Hemisphere, winter in the Northern Hemisphere, was also the warmest on record. Global weather agencies were in agreement on the February record, including NASA, which placed February at 1.67 degrees Celsius, 3.01 degrees Fahrenheit, above the 1880 to 1899 period, its best estimate for when pre-industrial temperatures last occurred. This beat the previous record from February 2016 by 0.07 degrees Celsius, 0.13 degrees Fahrenheit. February 2024 had the second greatest departure from average of any month in the NASA database, behind September 2023. The Japan Meteorological Agency and the European Copernicus Climate Change Service also rated February 2024 as the warmest February on record. Figure 1. Departure of temperature from average for February 2024, the world's warmest February since record-keeping began in 1850. Image credit: NOAA/NCEI. Land areas had their second warmest February on record in 2024, according to NOAA, and for the 11th consecutive month, global ocean temperatures were the warmest on record. The record heat in the Southern Hemisphere oceans is poised to deliver the worst coral bleaching event in recorded history, see tweet below, and record warmth covered nearly all of the tropical and eastern North Atlantic. It was the warmest February on record for Europe, North America, and South America, and the second warmest for Africa. As we discussed last week, the contiguous U.S. had its third warmest February on record and its warmest winter, December-February, on record. El Niño weakens, La Niña likely by summer. The strong El Niño event in the Eastern Pacific weakened during February, NOAA reported in its March monthly discussion of the state of the El Niño/Southern Oscillation, or ENSO. Neutral conditions are expected to emerge by the Northern Hemisphere spring, 83% chance for April-May-June, and the odds of La Niña by mid-2024 continue to climb, with increasing long-range model support. The subsurface waters of the equatorial Pacific are already cooler than average, and a small area of below-average sea surface temperatures has emerged in the far eastern tropical Pacific. Long-range ENSO predictions are typically not reliable until after northern spring, but there is enhanced predictability at this point when a strong El Niño event is in progress. There is also some climatological support. In records going back to 1950, all four of the El Niño events that were as strong as the current one transitioned to La Niña conditions in the following year. Read, will La Niña return this fall? The tea leaves are unusually strong. The March forecast from NOAA and Columbia University's International Research Institute for Climate and Society has raised the odds again from the previous month, now calling for a 62% chance of La Niña to be in place by June-August 2024. For the climatological peak of the upcoming Atlantic hurricane season, August-September-October, the forecast called for an 82% chance of La Niña, a 17% chance of ENSO neutral, and a mere 1% chance of El Niño. El Niño conditions tend to suppress Atlantic hurricane activity through an increase in wind shear, but La Niña conditions tend to have the opposite effect. Deadliest weather disaster of 2024 so far, wildfires in Chile kill 131. Horrific wildfires, fueled by near-record drought and extreme heat brought on by climate change and El Niño, swept through the coastal city of Vina del Mar, Chile, on February 2nd to 3rd. The death toll of at least 131 makes this Earth's fifth deadliest wildfire since 1900. The preliminary cost of $1 billion would make the disaster Chile's second billion-dollar weather disaster on record. The other was a 2015 flood that cost $1.9 billion, inflation-adjusted. Figure 2. Deadliest wildfires globally since 1900, according to EMDT, the International Disaster Database. 5 out of 10 of these wildfires have occurred since 2018, highlighted in yellow. Increased exposure, climate change, and fire-prone invasive plants are all factors in this unfortunate trend. Read, Chile's wildfire death toll rises above 130. Arctic sea ice, 15th lowest February extent on record. Arctic sea ice extent during February 2024 was the 15th lowest in the 45-year satellite record, according to the National Snow and Ice Data Center, or NCEI, and is approaching its annual maximum, which usually occurs in March. Though is it heartening to see Arctic sea ice not near a record low, the ice is quite thin, and winter ice extent is a poor indicator of what the summer and fall extent will be. Antarctic sea ice extent in February was the second lowest on record, behind the record set in 2023. Antarctic sea ice extent appears to have reached its seasonal minimum during the last week of February, ending up as tied with 2022 for second lowest in the satellite data record, just above 2023. Thus, the last 3 years are the 3 lowest in the 46-year record. Notable global heat and cold marks for February 2024. The information below is courtesy of Maximiliano Herrera. Follow him on Twitter at ExtremeTemps. Hottest temperature in the Northern Hemisphere, 44.6 degrees Celsius, 112.3 degrees Fahrenheit at Bakoro, Chad, February 29th. Coldest temperature in the Northern Hemisphere. Minus 58.0 degrees Celsius, minus 72.4 degrees Fahrenheit at Summit, Greenland, February 1st. Hottest temperature in the Southern Hemisphere. 49.9 degrees Celsius, 121.8 degrees Fahrenheit at Carnarvon, Australia, February 18th, and coldest temperature in the Southern Hemisphere. Minus 64.3 degrees Celsius, minus 83.7 degrees Fahrenheit at Concordia, Antarctica, February 29th. Major weather stations in February. 10 all-time heat records, no all-time cold records. Among global stations with a record of at least 40 years, 10 set, not just tied, an all-time heat record in February. No station set an all-time cold record. Manjimup, Australia, max 42.8 degrees Celsius, February 1st. Lele, Chile, max 42.5 degrees Celsius, February 3rd. San Pedro de Atacama, Chile, max 38.3 degrees Celsius, February 4th. Dimbokro, Côte d'Ivoire, max 41.3 degrees Celsius, February 16th. Kaimana, Indonesia, max 37.2 degrees Celsius, February 17th. Carnarvon, Australia, max 49.9 degrees Celsius, February 18th. Geraldton, Australia, max 49.3 degrees Celsius, February 18th. Kalbarri, Australia, max 48.1 degrees Celsius, February 18th. Pierce RAF, Australia, max 46.1 degrees Celsius, February 19th, and Ravensthorpe, Australia, max 46.0 degrees Celsius, February 20th. One all-time national/territorial heat record beaten or tied as of the end of February. Cocos Islands, Australia, 32.8 degrees Celsius, 91.0 degrees Fahrenheit, February 28th and February 29th. 33 monthly national/territorial heat records beaten or tied as of the end of February. In addition to the one all-time national/territorial record set so far in 2024, 33 nations or territories have set monthly all-time heat records in 2024, for a total of 34 such records. January: 15 Mayotte, Dominica, Saba, Cocos Islands, Malta, Hong Kong, Ivory Coast, Maldives, Andorra, Portugal, Costa Rica, UK, Seychelles, Martinique, St. Barthélemy. February: 18 Maldives, French Guiana, Guyana, Dominica, Curacao, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, U.S. Virgin Islands, Belize, North Korea, Morocco, French Southern Territories, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Peru, Laos, Chad, Togo. One monthly national/territorial cold record beaten or tied as of the end of February. China set an all-time cold record for the month of February. Hemispherical and continental temperature records in 2024. Highest minimum temperature ever recorded in January in Asia, 28.5 degrees Celsius, 83.3 degrees Fahrenheit at Bangkok Klong Noi, Thailand, January 14th. Highest minimum temperature ever recorded in February in Asia, 29.1 degrees Celsius, 84.1 degrees Fahrenheit at Diego Garcia, British Indian Territories, February 18th. We help millions of people understand climate change and what to do about it. Help us reach even more people like you. Donate. More like this. The warmest winter in U.S. history leaves its mark. Video game teaches teens to stay calm in a weather emergency. The best climate change movies and TV series of 2023. Tagged: Bob Henson, Jeff Masters. Jeff Masters. Jeff Masters, Ph.D., worked as a hurricane scientist with the NOAA hurricane hunters from 1986 to 1990. After a near-fatal flight into Category 5 Hurricane Hugo, he left the hurricane hunters to pursue a. More by Jeff Masters. Bob Henson. Bob Henson is a meteorologist and journalist based in Boulder, Colorado. He has written on weather and climate for the National Center for Atmospheric Research, Weather Underground, and many freelance. More by Bob Henson. An initiative of Donate. Climate Connections Podcast. Use and Privacy Policy. Accessibility at Yale. Copyright 2024 Yale Climate Connections. Powered by Newspack. Alt plus A 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 Alt plus A.